I think all of Donald Trump's actions over the past year have been an attempt to erode democracy, and he's becoming increasingly desperate as we head into the midterm. So the attacks on the press are attacks to make sure there's not transparency. Attacks on college campuses or colleges, it's to make sure that critical thinking students aren't coming out of these colleges to debunk the administration. He attacks law firms, he attacks any single check, and this is a perfect example of him trying to push a chilling effect within independent journalism. So Don Lemon is an independent journalist. I think independent journalism is incredibly important, and it's the one variable this administration hasn't really gone after super hard. So now he's targeting not only Don Lemon, but multiple other people in order to create this overall chilling effect which erodes democracy.
Greetings, my PPP and family. This is Black People Politics Network. I'm Mr. Red. I like Adam Mockler. I think he does a great job for a young man. He's on top of it. But I don't want to talk about Adam Mockler today. What he discussed in the opening clip was talking about the eroding of free speech, especially when the journalist Don Lemon got arrested. Now, I haven't covered that. Not because I'm not concerned about it, just because going after the news right now, it's like drinking through a fire hose. But there was something in this interview that stood out to me, and it was Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill is going to point out something that I don't think most people have covered at this angle. What Jemele covered is that there was a racial component to going after Don Lemon and going after the women in the church. Notice that Don Lemon gets arrested, right? But there's a bunch of other people nothing happens to. This was an opportunity for Trump to divert everyone's attention through abracadabra or hocus pocus to get us to look away. I'm gonna let Jemele say what she has to say, and then we're gonna talk about how Trump used Don Lemon to try to desensitize Americans to what is happening. We have much to discuss. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
Can I pick up on something that Mayor Bass said? I live in Los Angeles, and so very aware of the presence of ICE and what it had been there during the time that she was referring. But I want to talk about what she said in terms of mentioning why we need to remind ourselves of the racial element of this. There is a reason why I think Donald Trump not only picked independent journalists, but black journalists in particular. Clearly, we know there's no love lost between Don Lemon and Donald Trump, that he's been very critical of the president. The president they've gone back and forth. But if we go back and undo all the layers of all of this, it was black journalists that were really at the forefront of calling Donald Trump out, from the birtherism movement throughout a lot of the things that they saw early before the rest of the press really picked up on some of the things that concerned a lot of black journalists. Hello, me, who also called out Donald Trump in 2017. And the reason why I think he picked these particular journalists is being independent. You don't have the backing of a CNN. You don't have the backing of a big network. The other part of it, too, is that if you can make them the face of this issue that is happening in Minneapolis, we know that given some of the racial issues that we have in this country, it is likely to have a lot less sympathy because they are journalists, one, and people hate the press, and two, because they're black. And so I do think that that's an important part of this, especially given the president's own language when it comes to anti-DEI and making black people the face of woke, and all that we've heard from this administration. All of this is combined together and meant to drum up a certain sentiment against these journalists so that people are supporting their own rights being eroded because of who they think it's happening to.
Now, that was a very interesting and fascinating take, and shout out to Jemele Hill for getting on CNN and bringing this up, because she's absolutely correct. Donald Trump has shown from the very beginning he's a racist, and that he has something against black people. Matter of fact, his problem with black people goes all the way back to one Barack Obama. Think about it. Think about it lately. He was trying to push for that Nobel Peace Prize, because in his mind, he is so racist. He thinks that if that guy can get a Nobel Peace Prize, then why can't I? He hates Barack Obama because his rallies are huge. He pulls a lot of people. He is loved. And in Donald Trump's addled, riddled, racist, diseased, sick mind, to him, he is better than any black person. That we don't mean anything to him. So when people say, oh, Donald Trump's not a racist, his own friends, people that have been around him, I've even shown on this channel a man saying, if you think that Donald Trump is for black people, he's never had a black person at Mar-a-Lago.
If you're black and you voted for Trump or you're still supporting Trump, you are delusional. If you think Trump, I've known Trump for 30 years. If you think he's pro-black people, you're completely delusional. I've been to Mar-a-Lago, I don't know how many times, and I've never seen a black person there. And Mar-a-Lago is a huge place.
I want you to think about that. He'll have Hispanic people and illegals cleaning for him, but he won't even let a black person set foot in Mar-a-Lago. And you know what? I wouldn't want to set foot in that piece of shit either. We get back to the Don Lemon issue. Trump is always playing the same card hand. He has a bunch of tells, and I've said this on the channel too. And one of the tells is that when he is facing pressure, he is going to try to divert that attention to something. It's going to take away shine off of him. And one of the things that he's been trying to do but has not successfully done, because you and I have decided to stay our asses inside and mind our own goddamn business. But now, when you had black people go up into that church, when you had Don Lemon go up into the church and start interviewing people, then they tried that this was their opportunity, because we're not out in the streets, we're not causing chaos. And so this is a chance for him to pin something on a black person, to get the news cycle saying, hey, look what they're doing to Don Lemon. Look what they're doing to this dude. Knowing that it will cause a stir within the news circles, but it won't move the needle with the American people. Because, let's face it, when it comes to the plight of black people, when it comes to us trying to tell this country what's going on, no one listens. No one listens. And this is what Donald Trump banked on. He banked on people not paying attention or not really caring, the country as a whole, because it happened to black people, that he arrested black people. Notice, he is willing to say that his DOJ, his Department of Homeland Security, is willing to say that these people are threats to the country. Yet, they won't find anybody attached to these Epstein files to bring into justice or for questioning. Matter of fact, they released the names of the victims, but didn't redact the names of the people who were potential co-conspirators with Jeffrey Epstein. So this administration is willing to protect PDF files, but they're willing to put a journalist in jail who's doing his job according to his First Amendment right.
Black people, we need to talk about something urgent. We're walking into a perfect ice storm, and I'm not sure we're paying attention. Here's what's happening right now and why it matters to you. The Supreme Court ruled that ICE can conduct warrantless arrests and searches while looking for undocumented immigrants, basically giving them permission to racially profile with zero accountability. And you may be thinking, that's not about us, they targeting Latinos. On February 3rd, temporary protective status ends for 350,000 Haitian immigrants. They are now deportation targets. And here's the thing, Haitians are Black Americans. Same skin, same accent in many cases. Can you see where this is going? ICE can racially profile, plus they're hunting Black immigrants who look just like us. Equals all Black people are now more vulnerable. And before you say, but I'm a citizen, over the past year, we've seen multiple cases of actual U.S. citizens being detained by ICE for days and weeks at a time. Documentation did not save them. This isn't theoretical. So here's what we do. Number one, if ICE approaches you, stay calm, comply, and show ID. I know it's unjust, it's enraging, we shouldn't have to do it, but this is about survival. Just like the talk all of our parents gave us about surviving police encounters when we were young.
For black people, this is front and center, because we have been doing our best to stay out of everything, not because we don't want to do something, because The whole thing is game over. It's checkmate if we do. Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.